biggest snowfall of the winter hit Minnesota on Sunday night. As Kevin Miller reports, the cleanup can bring health risks.
It's heavy, it's thick and heavy, but it's like I said, I need the exercise, so I'm all right.
With a scrape of the shovel, the waterlogged snow is cleared off the driveway.
It's getting your heart pumping, that's for sure. It's not easy on the back. I know I'm young, but it's still not easy. That's why you have to take breaks. You know what I mean? Because you push it too hard, it's just any given moment, something can happen. So you have to literally stop.
I mean, they call it hard attack snow for a reason, right?
It's hard work and takes a physical toll.
You can see I got the extra handle on this shovel here that definitely takes some of the pressure off the lower back. So it's one of the best investments with this little add-on.
The increase in snowfall brings with it an increase of a more concerning variety.
There are high incidents of people coming in with chest pain, heaviness of the heart and all that, chest pressure and heart attack.
Felicia E.K. Booty is a nurse practitioner at Hennepin Healthcare. She says they see a bump in emergency visits after a heavy snowfall.
There's also high incident of falls.
She says shoveling or snowblowing can be dangerous, especially for people with pre-existing heart conditions.
The blood pressure rises, the heart rate rises, there's a constriction of the coronary artery, which causes less blood supply to the heart.
She recommends a slow approach to cleanup or help if you can find it.
Caution is the key word, being intentional, taking it slowly, and asking for help.
In Brooklyn Park, Kevin Miller, CCX News.
Staffing levels are on the rise at the Golden Valley Police Department. According to Chief Virgil Green, the department had only 9 sworn staff members in early 2023. The city signed a contract with the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office to cover Golden Valley's day shift. Now, Green expects to have 16 officers, as well as 3 new patrol sergeants on staff by the end of spring. With staffing levels on the rise, Green says the police department should be able to cover its day shift by September or October. Meanwhile, the department's investigative division is still short 4 detectives. 6 young men were arrested Sunday night after an armed robbery in Brooklyn Park. An alert from the Brooklyn Park Police Department says officers were called to an armed robbery just before 10 Sunday night. That occurred at the 5500 block of 84.5 Avenue North in Brooklyn Park. The victim told officers that a group of men held guns to his head, took personal property, and fled on foot. 2 guns and the victim's personal property were recovered from a home on the same block. 6 juveniles were booked for aggravated robbery. The case is still under investigation. A house fire in Robbinsdale over the weekend sent 3 people to the hospital. Firefighters and police responded to a fully engulfed home on the 3800 block of Regent Avenue North Saturday afternoon. Investigators say all of the residents made it out safely. However, paramedics transported an adult and 2 children to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Expecting parents go through a range of emotions awaiting their newborn child, excitement and anxiety, to name a few. But as Jenna Globe reports, one local family also experienced something else, complete and utter surprise.
You see this in movies, not in real life.
It started out as an ordinary love story. Kara Groves Berquist grew up in Maple Grove, married her high school sweetheart Carter, and later welcomed their first child, Briggs. So when Kara, pregnant with their second, began experiencing contractions at 39 weeks, the couple once again headed to Maple Grove Hospital, where they fully expected to have another baby. And that's where this story becomes anything but ordinary.
They want you to be at a 4, and they want you to have contractions 5 minutes apart for an hour. And I was just under a 4. I was at a 3.5. And then my contractions were about 6 minutes apart.
They got the news no expectant parents wants to hear.
We don't know if we're going to be able to take you. We don't think you're quite ready yet. Wait till your water breaks, wait till this happens, then go home.
The next call was to Kara's parents, who were taking care of Briggs.
It made sense for us to come here, spend the night, because we were sure that they'd be heading back to the hospital at some point.
So the whole family all ended up back at the Berquist house.
I kind of kicked everybody out. I wanted to sleep in the living room. I told him to go downstairs to try to get some rest, and I would call him when things were getting serious.
And it wasn't long before things ramped up.
I literally was going back and forth from the couch to the floor, trying to doze off during contractions, falling on all 4s, and that's when it all started.
I'm dozing off and I hear a very high-pitched scream.
This roar came out of me. That's the only way I know how to describe it.
So I ran out here. She's on all fours, and the sound that came from deep within her, I realized, oh my Lord, we are having a baby.
Kara says the baby's coming.
They describe the moments that followed as being a blur.
Run upstairs and yeah, Carol's on the ground up here, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to deliver a baby. I called 911. We grabbed a bunch of blankets and towels, and
she's pushing and cannot stop. So on one push, baby's head is crowned, water breaks, and on the next push, that baby came rushing out into our hands.
Within minutes, police, fire, and paramedics arrived to find mom and baby doing remarkably well. Back at the hospital, Breyer's son Berquist weighed in a healthy 7 pounds 13 ounces. Breyer's named after her grandmother, Sunday Berquist, a former contestant on Survivor who passed away in 2021 after a hard-fought battle with cancer.
It was very fitting to how everything went about, because I don't think we would have been able to script a more fun birth for my mom, that's for sure.
Yeah. Should we see your pretty face?
As for Breyer's other grandmother,
Stretch.
the one who caught her in her hands,
In that moment that Breyer was born, it was just one of the most beautiful experiences that you can imagine.
I always prayed for her and I to work as a team, and we did, because it was her and I till the very end. So the Lord answers prayers in super funny ways.
For CCX News, this is Jenna Globe.
Three area high school boys basketball teams were playing on Championship Saturday at Williams Arena. Wayzata was hoping to win their second straight title and third in 4 years in Class 4A. Chaz Moots has the highlights.
The Trojans and Skippers faced off twice in the regular season, Wayzata winning both of those matchups. Minnetonka needed a good start to the game, and they got it. Some good passing along the baseline leads to a Jordan Kane 3. Tonka got up by as many as 14 in the first half. But the Trojans chipped into that lead before the break. Jackson McAndrew from way deep splashes in a 3. Trojans down 35-28 at halftime. The Skippers came out hot in the second half. Andy Stefanowicz's corner 3 caps an 11-5 run, but Wayzata answered back. The Trojans tighten up defensively. Christian Wiggins' block leads to a run out. Isaac Olmstead lobs it up to Jackson McAndrew to cut the lead down to single digits. 46-35 the score. Minutes later, it's Olmstead with a nice move and floater in the paint. Trojans chipping away. Then McAndrew dishes to Wiggins for 3 of his 18. The Trojans get it all the way down to 5, but that's as close as they get. The Skippers play excellent defense all night. Minnetonka takes down Wayzata 72-61 and denies the Trojans' chance at a repeat.
We get it to 5 and have a chance to hit a couple shots to kind of get us back into it and cut it to a 1 possession, and we just couldn't do it. They played real physical and tough, and a credit to them for finding a way tonight.
In Minneapolis, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Totino-Grace boys basketball team found itself in a familiar spot, the Class 3A state championship game. The Eagles, tested in their first 2 state games against Stewartville and De La Salle, faced another challenge Saturday in the final. Totino-Grace 26-5 on the season, coming into the final facing 28-2 Mankato East. Early first half, the Cougars' Dwayne Bryan hits a 3-pointer to give his team an 8-6 lead. Tyler Wagner had a very efficient night of shooting for the Eagles, hitting 6 of 8 from the floor. The sophomore guard finishes the game with 17 points. Great spin move by Isaiah Johnson to get to the rim and lay in 2. Grace leads by 5 and we're up by 3 at halftime. Johnson with 25 points in the night. Early second half, Gandon Gosh of the Cougars gets a steal and takes it back the other way for a layup. It gives Mankato East the lead of 38-37. Chase Watley uses a screen and drives to the basket, takes contact, scores, and is fouled. Totino-Grace back in front, leading by 5. And then one of the all-time great dunks you'll see, especially in high school basketball. Johnson with a one-handed monster jam off the great pass from Watley to put Grace up by 9. Gothan and Janabola with a steal and runaway dunk for 2 more here. Totino-Grace goes on to win their 3rd straight Class 3A title. They beat Mankato East 73-64. Breck was in the state boys basketball tournament for just the 2nd time ever, and they took aim at the Class 2A title. Jay Wilcox has highlights.
Top seed Breck looking for its first state title in boys basketball as the Mustangs face Lake City for the 2A title. Miles Newton hits a long three late in the shot clock for Breck to tie it at 19-19. Lake City comes to play. Keegan Ryan to Riley Fick for 2 of his 15 points. The Tigers lead 28-24. Hanif Muhammad gets it to Daniel Freitag for the dunk. The last basket of the first half gives Breck a 33-32 halftime lead. Second half and Lake City surges. Hunter Lawrenson gets the layup on his way to a 19-point game. The Tigers lead 41-39. Hanif Muhammad pops a three to tie the game at 44-44 as it stays competitive. Breck tries to pull away. Newton hits 3 of his 16 points and Breck's up 7. They later lead by 12. But Lake City roars back. Josh Wohlers hits a 3 to make it 69-66 Breck. They get as close as 1. But Freitag has a monster game, scoring a clutch hoop here on the way to a 33-point outing as Breck finishes 31-1 and 2A state champs with a 76-72 win. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.